Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is Dylan. We are back here with another Madden video. Today what we got is going back to another tier list. It's going to be our best tight ends in Madden 22 Ultimate Team. Now before we go on ahead, rank the new cards and re-rank the old cards. If you are new to the channel, make sure to go ahead, leave a like on the video, and also subscribe if you are new. I drop almost daily Madden content on the channel. My end of year goal is to hit 10k subscribers. Could not do it without y'all, so I greatly appreciate it. And we're around like 40 subscribers away from 4k, which is a major milestone, and I just want to say thank y'all. But today with tight ends, we're gonna do something that we've been doing with other tier lists if you have watched them on the channel. The first thing we're gonna do is basically drop a lot of people a lot of tiers with all the new cards that have came out, to the point where I'm kind of feeling like this is what the tight ends are looking like. Still in the S tier, Jared Cook and Darren Waller. I don't know if Jared Cook, if I'm putting him just in here because he's a Raider and that's why you see him so much, given the Raiders team that is very, very good. Or if it's just like when I play up against this card, I swear this dude just breaks like 14 tackles and just scores a touchdown on me and there's just nothing I can do. Darren Waller is Darren Waller, always one of the better tight ends in the game. But now with tight ends, in total we have 14 new tight ends in the game. The first one right here is going to be most feared, Kokomet. Kokomet I think is okay. Powered up, going to be 87 speed, not the worst, not the best either. He has decent run block with 77. Hits 80 short route running, but can't hit 70 deep. I mean, a lot of times your tight end is not going to be on deep routes, and also can't hit 80 medium route running. I think medium and short route running by far the most important for a tight end. The 80 short route running is pretty okay, but for the most part, I'm just gonna lob him, I think, into the C tier with guys that are a little bit faster than him, like Noah Fant right here. Frank Wycheck is by far like one of the better blocking tight ends in the game. I'm actually going to keep Frank Wycheck in the B tier because he still has his role, even though his speed is really, really bad. But Kokomet is overall pretty solid. He's not really like the best. He's not really the worst either. Next up right here, we have Ertz, who is actually very similar to Kokomet. I mean, he's not really too similar, but he's around the same level as him in my opinion. I'm going to lob him into the C tier as well. New Thanksgiving card right here. He's going to be 86 speed, which is one slower than Kokomet, but he hits 80 for short route running and medium route running. Again, deep route running for a tight end, for if they don't hit like a certain tier, I'm not really too worried about it. Like I said, I think medium and short are way more important than deep route running. And his run block really isn't that good. So if you're trying to decide like for a budget tight end between like Kokomet and Ertz, it's really a toss up between them. I think they're both pretty okay though. Now, Evan Engram right here. I want to put him in the A tier, but I think everyone in the A tier is by far better than him. And for that reason, I'm going to put him in the B tier. In my opinion, Evan Engram, best budget tight end in the game, right? The reason why he's not A tier is because the one thing he's good at is speed. Like literally everything else really isn't that good. Yeah, sure, powered up can hit 80 short route running, which isn't bad for a tight end. 90 speed as well powered up. But if you take a look like at his blocking stats and his other like catching, route running, a lot of these guys in the B tier are better than him. Really, the main thing about Evan Engram is his speed, which in Madden is one of the most important things in the game. So I think you're on a budget. I think he'll be the best budget tight end in the game, like I said. But it's just kind of what you value and the scheme you run. Like if you're running the ball a lot, I think Frank Wycheck would absolutely be a necessity over Evan Engram, right? But if you're just passing, of course you'd want Evan Engram over some of these guys. Next up right here, we have Darren Fells, who is really hard to rank, okay? If you just pass the ball, I'd put him in like the C tier, right? Like he's not really too great, but given his main strength is his run block, I'm gonna lob him into the B tier because he can have a role on your team, and let me explain it. First off though, gonna be 85 speed powered up, which is by far the slowest card we've covered so far. 89 short route running powered up. If he hit 90, he would, I think, for sure be in B tier. 80s for medium route running as well, 70s for deep. But the main thing about Darren Fells is he's 6'7", 270, so he has really, really good size, and he has 87 run block powered up, and he's a blocking archetype. So how can you use this card if you want to run the ball, right? Because I think that's really where you'd be like excited for Darren Fells. So he's a blocking archetype. What he can get is some of those run blocking abilities that aren't really too common for tight ends, right? Like most of the good tight ends in the game, like who I'd consider meta, are like vertical threats, stuff like that, right? You can get honorary linemen, which if you aren't familiar with that, is pretty much where they'll just be better blockers in the run game, right? And what you could do with that, you could play this guy at receiver. Yes, he's slow, but if you want to run the ball, he's going to make sure the corners do not shed you like they would like wide receivers, right? Same thing goes for Frank Wycheck. I think if you want to be toxic, try a scheme out like that, I think it could work. You could basically go from like a single back set or even a shotgun set into like I form, into goal line, stuff like that. And I think running the ball is actually really, really good this year. It's just it's so easy to pass the ball on offense. No one runs the ball. So I think there could be a role for these blocking archetype guys. It's just not a lot of people are using it right now. Next up right here, we have Gronk, who I think Gronk always gets kind of a bad rap because of the fact that he's a little bit slower. Powered up can be 88 speed, so really not that bad this year, and also hit like 88 run block as well. So great run blocker, decent speed, good route runnings, 80s for short and medium as well. Possession archetype, so if you're not running hot route master, he'll get tight end apprentice, I believe, for 1 AP. Gronk to me, I want to put him S tier, I really do, but I think he's top into A. It's just he's a little bit lacking in speed, but I think Gronk cards play really, really good. Like, he's a big body for sure. I just feel like in the run game he's dominant. He makes all the catches you would want your tight end to make. You know what, screw it, I'm gonna put him in the S tier. Like I said, he might not be the fastest, but I feel like he's probably gonna be the best blocking tight end in the S tier. So he's gonna be someone that comes down relatively quickly though. I think Jared Cook and Waller are better, especially if you're just passing the ball. Now, a card that I don't want to say I was disappointed in, but TJ Hockenson, I feel like his base elite card was really, really good when it first came out, and his superstar just really wasn't too much better. And this Thanksgiving card isn't bad by any means, but for right now, he's in the B tier, in my opinion. Could maybe see him A tier. Now, if you look at his card, he's a lot similarly statted to Gronk. So right now, if he doesn't get any of his upgrades on Thanksgiving, to get those upgrades, if you don't know how it works, is that Madden picks out like a couple cards that play on Thanksgiving. If they reach certain goals, they can go up in overall, right? So TJ Hockenson's goals is to catch 5 passes for a +1 upgrade and also a touchdown for a +1 upgrade. So if he hits both of those, pretty much every stat is going to increase by 2, right? But right now, we're going to keep in our heads that he doesn't hit any. And I believe he will go into his power up after the Thanksgivings are over. So powered up right now would be 88 speed, 80 blocking, 80 for short, 80 for medium, right? And I know they're a little bit like +1s here and there, but for threshold, that's really what matters, is him hitting 80 for all that. The difference between him and Gronk is like body size, right? Like Gronk is, he's just an absolute animal, right? But TJ Hockenson does have the potential to be one of the better tight ends in the game. I'm actually going to lob him into the A tier because he is like really similar to Gronk. I don't think there's like a 2-tier difference. But if he does hit his goals, he's going to be like 89 speed. I don't think he would hit 90 for short or medium route running, which does kind of suck. But 89 speed and 80 run block would be, I think, good enough for the S tier. But for right now, I think he's A. Now, a card right here, low overall, most feared, James O'Shaughnessy for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He is really, really bad. I'm going to put him in the F tier. He's 84 speed, 70 run block. He's just terrible. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on him because his card just sucks. Travis Kelce is an interesting one, okay? This is where ranking cards gets tough, right? So the good thing about Travis Kelce is he hits 90 for short and medium route running. So by far the best route runner tight end we would have covered. I think this is a card that might be better on current gen than next gen, because I feel like on current gen, you do see a lot of man coverage, and the 90s at route running for tight end just aren't really too common. But also at the same time, I feel like you can beat man coverage with just like speed at tight end, right? So I think for right now, I will put him in the S tier. Powered up, like I said, 88 speed, gonna be 90 for short and medium route running, and also hit like 76 run block, so he can really do it all. The only thing that's a little bit lacking is his speed, but he's the best route runner we've covered so far and in the whole tier list. Dawson Knox right here, one of the few good, I think they were team builders, team diamond. Powered up, he's gonna be 89 speed and also hit 80 for short route running. Decent run block with like 75 right around there. I'd lob him into the B tier. I think he's pretty good. He's one of the better cards in the B tier in my opinion too. I just think he's a little bit lacking in like the medium, and again, deep route running doesn't really matter for a tight end, but short and medium, short with 80 is fine, but medium with only 70, you'd like to see that in the 80s, but he does make up for it with some speed, so I think B tier is pretty good for him. Tyler Croft right here, again, isn't terrible, but I don't think he's B tier. I think he is C tier. Powered up, going to be 86 speed and hit 80. But also hit 80 short route running and again 70s for medium. So he's a little bit slower than Dawson Knox, and I just really don't think he's that great. So C tier it is for him. Logan Thomas right here really isn't that great. I'm gonna put him in the D tier. I think like Tyler Croft is way better. Powered up, gonna be 85 speed, which I feel like is a little bit slow for a Logan Thomas card. Can't hit 80s for any route running. They're just gonna be 70s across the board, and doesn't have great run block, so he doesn't really do anything good. Like when you compare him to say Evan Engram, who I'm pretty sure Evan Engram might be 1 overall higher, but there's just no point. They're basically going for the same price, and Evan Engram just does everything better. Maxx Williams right here, I'm just gonna allow him into the D tier. He's another guy that's pretty good at blocking, so if you need a blocking tight end on a budget, I guess he's not terrible. Powered up, gonna be 82 speed, which is absolutely terrible at tight end, but he's gonna have 80 run block, and his route running is awful. Like, I mean, he hit 60s for medium and deep and 70 for short, so really I'll just put him in the F tier. You really shouldn't run him. Next up right here, we have a card you could actually get completely free. It's gonna be Kyle Pitts, who powered up, gonna be 91 speed at tight end, 80s for short and medium route running, and not great run block. Basically a receiver at tight end. I think he's an upgraded version of Evan Engram. Do I put him in the S tier or do I put him A tier? I could see either one. I think if I put him in A tier, he's the best card in A tier. I'm gonna put him in A tier, and the main reason is the next card we have, who is Vernon Davis, right? This is gonna be the last card of the video. He's for sure S tier. He might be the best tight end from a passing standpoint we've covered so far. So he's going to be 91 speed powered up as well, but he's going to hit 90 for short and medium. And I just really, so when you compare Kyle Pitts to Vernon Davis, right? Yeah, like sure, Kyle Pitts is a little bit taller, but Vernon Davis is like better Kyle Pitts, if that makes sense, right? From a route running standpoint. They're the same speed, but he has the way better route running. I believe he also has better run block too. So like, I can't put him on the same tier. Like it just doesn't make any sense, right? So like when you're just looking at basically a receiver at tight end, I think the tier goes like Evan Engram, then Kyle Pitts, then Vernon Davis. I think that makes a lot of sense to me. So yeah, I hope I explained that good. And yeah, y'all, this has been the updated tight end tier list. Let me know down in the comments what you agree with, what you disagree with, who you think should go up, who you think should go down. But I appreciate y'all clicking onto the video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. But other than that, man, has been your boy Dill, and I'm out.